Why do we always do animes Minty watches? Why do we never do animes Annie watches?
Because you never watch or read anything new unless I make you do it.
I can tell you about all the animes I drop. That'll be a whole episode. I'll have the Curious Case of Vanitas on the left. I'll have Millionaire Detective on the right.
But we're going to talk about an anime that I've actually rewatching, and that is the School Rumble!
The only thing I know of School Rumble is that I think he was playing on that one channel that like had all the anime, so we watched it for Revolutionary Girl Utena, Slayers, Nejima.
I've never seen a full episode of Nejima.
I've seen one episode that made me uncomfortable as a child. I don't know if it was a gay awakening. I don't know if even back then that was kind of fucked up.
So let's talk about School Rumble. But we're not going over a review. I'm doing a little romantic couple trope experiment with Annie. So when you watch the series or whenever you hear a synopsis of the show, it's always about the heroine named Tenma. She's in love with a boy named Karasumo. Except another guy, like a delinquent dude, is in love with Tenma and his name is Harima. So you think the whole show is about this love triangle. When very quickly, it kind of divulged more into like a different set of love triangle-ness. And the big debate really is between if Harima, the delinquent dude, is gonna hook up with Yakumo, which is Tenma's younger sister, or Eri, who's Tenma's friend. And both Eri and Yakumo likes Harima, but Harima likes Tenma, who likes Karasumo.
Does Kurasumo likes the girl?
I don't think so. Like, there are some weird moments where, like, because he's very, like, an aloof, no personality, straight kind of guy. So I'm like, and sometimes they have scenes that aren't real. Like, something to do with, like, he's an alien. So it's like, you don't know where the line is between reality and fantasy. But so, how this is gonna work is that I'm gonna give Annie an option A and an option B. Each one corresponds to either Yakumo or Eri. And I'm gonna total them up to see, based on more like tropes, if Annie would like Harima with Yakumo or Eri. But I think if you watch this series, I think you would automatically dislike one and like the other. So I'm trying to get rid of like those kind of biases.
I would love a romance show. It would be funny if like every other week he was in a different love triangle.
That would be a horrible situation. Especially if you're changing every week. That means you are not chosen every week.
I'm just saying, you can like really go into those romantic tropes.
You'll one day find that OT3.
Oh, go give me a stupid quiz. I already know who I pick. It's the one whose name's the easiest to pronounce.
Eri.
Yeah.
Yakumo is a weird name. I don't think I ever heard the name Yakumo.
In my head, I'm just like, Kurasumo, not Kurasuno.
No, yeah. It's weird. I don't know why his name is like that, but he's kind of the Kappa guy.
Kappa?
Like the turtle yokai.
Oh, okay. That still makes no sense to me. He's just the turtle guy?
Yeah.
He likes cucumbers?
I don't know. Maybe when it was raining and Tenma wanted to do the whole romantic share an umbrella skit with him, he was like, oh, that's okay. I don't need a share because I have a rain costume. And his rain costume was a Kappa.
If I remember correctly, he looks kind of like Mob Psycho.
You know, kind of, yeah. Just more dead in the eye, surprisingly. Real quick, School Rumble. I actually do like this show. I think season 1 is kind of a drag and it slowly gets funnier and funnier. But season 2 hits off running funny.
Doesn't he, like, in season 2 become a manga artist or something?
He does that in season 1.
Oh, okay.
But he starts that career in season 1 and like goes full throttle in season 2.
Monthly Girls, Nozaki-kun, and School Rumble. Jeez, I wonder why this is Minty's favorite shoujos.
Screw you. Actually, my favorite is Love Attack and Gekon Shoujo.
No one knows Love Attack.
We'll talk about it one day. I'll reread the 7 volumes I have and then we'll go over it. But anyway, so I think there's 8 questions, 8 props. I think the first half is about the characters themselves and then you get kind of into the couple.
You know, Maid Sun was also another manga I could talk about, and I could quiz you.
Okay, if you ever want to put the work into anything besides art, you can.
Okay, bite me.
So, prompt number 1. Do you want the girl who's option A, aloof, quiet, very soft-spoken, or do you want the option B, the bratty, rich girl, but she has a lot of home problems, so she hides her emotions and just has a lot of confidence up front?
Oh, jeez, I wonder who's Annie's gonna choose. As if Annie doesn't hate Noelle with every fiber of her being. I choose A, because I don't like bratty characters. Like, there's not a single bratty character I like.
She's a rich girl. What can you say? Okay, prompt number 2. Do you want the most popular girl in her school year, but people are incredibly intimidated intimidated to ask her out. Or the girl who's very popular. I don't know if she's the most popular. Unlike A is the most popular, or B, I don't know. They just say she's very popular. But she says no to every guy who asks her out. Not in a mean way, just says no.
I'll go with B. I tend to like that trope better.
Oh, as long as you're not like a mean girl. I mean, neither of them are mean girls, to be honest. Well, okay, Ari is. In this context, neither of them are doing it in a mean way.
Because if people are asking you out, you're approachable, so you just be like, nah.
Yeah, interesting.
Real fast, I love quiet girls. I really love Gray from Black Clover.
Be quiet?
I think so.
Because when you talk to her, she's weird and crying. Like, she's shy.
Well, name a quiet girl then. Well, I make a lot of OCs that's quiet girls.
Fair enough. Okay. Trope number 3. Do you want the one that will tell the heroine that she should like try her best and not care what anyone else thinks, and that's kind of like her advice to the heroine, but she kind of does it like through the crush, kind of like pretending as if she's throwing her voice in a way? Or do you want option B, where she's like taking care of the heroine, she cooks for her, and she helps her out like keeping an umbrella in her bag?
Give me my mommy here in option B.
Gross. I don't like that. I don't like the way you said that.
No, I like caretaker characters, you know. What does our father always say whenever we ask him not to? He has a thing for waitresses.
I thought you were gonna say fart.
And I think it's genetics.
You're gross. That's why you like Maid-sama.
I am so conflicted because I love the manga. The anime was complete shit.
That was okay. I want to read Maid-sama, and then I want to read SA, and I want to compare the two because they have very similar prompts, but I didn't buy SA because I was already buying so much manga, especially Maid-sama. Maid-sama had like a hiatus.
Had a long hiatus. Something happened, and they were like, "Oh, we're going to do it in combination volumes now." And we're like, "Oh, we'll never know which volumes we have. This could be half the volume and half the other one."
We have so much manga. Some of them are just hidden and packed away. I would have to like scour the earth to look for them.
Real fast, a manga we should read. I don't know anything about SA, but Millennium Snow by the author of Owen High School Host Club.
Because we read the first 2 volumes, but we didn't read volume 3 and 4. Because again, there was a ginormous hiatus between the two.
You gotta watch Owen High School Host Club.
Yes,
and then do an episode about it.
I also want to read Orisama Teacher.
I Am a Teacher?
I guess, but it's the previous work of Gekon Shoujo. Actually, I think it's still ongoing.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Anyways, prompt number 4. And actually, I'm reading this. I'm like, I don't know why I put this. Sometimes I think I just had to pick an option for A and an option for B. But do you want option A, where the Kenpo captain is obsessively in love with her and chases her around school, and she does everything she can to avoid him?
What's Kenpo?
See, I don't know if because I got this in the Wikia.
Yeah.
But basically, the martial arts.
Okay.
Because it's not kendo, with like the sword.
Kendo.
But they call it Kenpo. Kempo.
I have a lot of characters I like that does Kendo. Harley Hartwell, other names.
Swords people.
If I say it here, Minty's gonna get mad at me.
Or option B, she gets into a fight with her friend over jealousy and a misunderstanding, but then at a summer festival, they make up because the friend was heartbroken by someone she thought, or someone that she had a crush on, but she never confessed to him, and by the time she sees him again, he already has a girlfriend.
How do these two correlate?
Sometimes they don't.
Okay, so I have to choose between the girl who's trying to run away from a stalker or the girl who gets into fits with her friend.
To be fair, he's only bothering her at school. He's not bothering her at home. Although he does try to go on trips with her when it's like, oh, it's a friend trip. And then he's like, I'll put myself in the trip.
I'll guess I'll go with the girl with the Kenpo, dude. Sounds like less drama. And if there is drama, that's problems with the police.
I mean, he's a good guy overall.
Am I leaning towards one of them or am I like really in between?
Right now you are leaning towards one of them, which I would assume you would. But again, I'm doing an experiment. When I rewatch season 2, because apparently Hulu only had season 1, I shall continue the experiment. Now I'm gonna go more into like the crush part of it all. So we'll talk about the first encounters of each character. So in option A, the girl tells a boy, oh, I don't want to date you. And the crush was like, wow, you're kind of like being harsh when you're telling him no. And she was like, well, I don't want to go out with him, so I'm not going to. And she leaves and she has to go shopping because she has to like buy groceries because she wanted to make dinner for her dad who's like never home. But when she was walking home, a car comes by and it's the dad saying, oh, I can't make it to dinner. I gotta go. Bye. And she's sad. And then the rain comes down and she's just like standing there. But then the crush comes and was like, oh, I'll walk you home. And they share an umbrella home to her house anyways. Or option B, so the girl lives in a house and the AC is broken and they're waiting for the AC repairman to come and fix the AC. and the AC guy brings an assistant who is the crush. Now, the girl doesn't really know who the crush is at this point, but she has a cat, and she's been yelling at the cat a lot because the cat has been, kind of like misbehaving a bit.
A fat tabby.
No, more like a battle-worn, dark gray stray cat.
Ah, yes, the second trope.
Yes. So she's trying to get the cat to come to her, but the cat won't. And the crush is like, hold on, let me deal with it. And he stares at the cat. The crush had this whole sabbatical where he went a little crazy and could only communicate with animals at one point. So he just stared at the cat, and then the cat just walked towards him.
You realize telling me both stories back to back, the first one sounds like a cute couple trope. The second one sounds like I'm having a fever dream, right?
Well, okay, because in B, she was impressed by him, being able to do that.
I guess in A, she's white knighted.
Not white knighted, but she was comforted at the end. He didn't save her from anything. He just kind of walked her home after being devastated that she couldn't cook food for her father.
And he's like, well, enjoy your wet, slopping groceries. This is why I only eat from Uber Eats. And then he gave him like a card. Like, I work here too, by the way.
Just call me. I got you, girl.
Yeah. 10% discount if you use this offer code.
5 stars all the way.
Yeah.
I got water and mangoes too.
It's Uber Eats. He's delivering the food towards her, not delivering her to the groceries.
Snacks are good.
Oh well. I throw in a water bottle in every order.
Gotta stay hydrated.
I picked A, obviously.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I told you the B was a weird fever dream.
I tried to say B. It was cute too, but that is the gist of what happened.
I realize now that most of my couples rely on emotional support and not being impressed by the other person. I don't know what that says about me.
That's interesting. I like the impression thing.
Interesting. Yeah, because right off bat, first thing I think of is Gray and Juvia, that she was comforted by him.
Oh, weird. I don't like that.
What?
Moving on.
No, name one couple you like. We're like, I'm impressed by your battle. Yeah, you can. I guess maybe Byakuya and Renji.
I stopped shipping them after a while. There was something weird about it. I was kind of wishy-washy in the beginning too, and then now I'm just like, I don't care for that couple. I don't know. I like couples that like fight together, and at each other.
Maybe if you had an OTP list.
It's hard. I don't have hyperfixations like you.
Maybe get one. It's free. Okay, moving on to the next scenario.
So we're on scenario 6. Option A is that she helps her crush collect firewood in hopes that they can talk about animals, which I forget what they end up talking about, but they definitely did not talk about animals in the end.
Ooh boy, I wonder which character this is. I wonder if it's character B from the last option.
Well, you don't know who's A and who's B.
Ooh-wee.
Or option B, she chooses to team up with the crush in a school festival and would rather lose the cavalry battle to not show that his head is now bald. But to be fair, she was also the one who shaved it off.
I mean, I gotta go with my man, Baldy.
Really?
Yeah, I'll go with that one.
Even though she shaved them bald?
And by accident, I assume.
It was a petty reason.
Oh. Oh, that changed some shit. I like cavalry battles too, but no, if it's petty, then I gotta go with A then.
Oh.
Can't shave a man. That's just I'd enjoy.
She has a hard time figuring out her emotions. Like, she is just, like, not all there emotionally. I think part of it's because her parents have fucking abandoned her.
Hey, the dad said he was gonna come home one time and then bailed.
Are you sticking with A then?
Yeah, I'll go with A, because B sounds like an emotional wreck now.
Kind of. She's a normal teenage girl.
Kind of like she's been like a witch bratty kid and an emotional wreck who becoming that. Who's the girl in Doki Doki Literature Club who just starts stabbing herself?
Yuki.
I'm choosing between
Yuri.
Choosing between Bratty Girl and Yuri.
Okay, option A. She works as the crush manga assistant.
Oh, we're going back into Nozaki-kun.
Shut up, okay? I don't need to explain myself. Actually, the creator doesn't have to explain themselves.
They came first, technically.
You know, School Rumble did, huh?
Yeah, it's old as shit, yo.
Wow, go figure.
No, Nozaki-kun, explain yourself.
Or option B, when everyone is dancing, she chooses to dance with the crush and his bald head.
I'll go with A, because in B, I just imagine her being like, you be my disco ball. He's like, okay.
No, that's not how it happened. That was much more cuter than that. I mean, we gotta go with the Nozaki-kun trope. Or I
Yeah.
guess the School Rumble trope now.
How many more options are there after this?
We have one more, our last option.
Now, is this like I'm in a tie and this is gonna be the deal breaker, or is it like one's winning by a landslide?
No, one's dominating.
Okay.
But I think season 2 might change things, but I don't know. Because I think it's hard to find them, like, official sources of things because this series is so old. And now that we do have, like, the resources to bring shit into the internet and for America to see, people won't do that for School Rumble. Because one couple, I think, like, has an alternate universe where they get together. But the other one's, like, kind of more obvious. Last prompt.
It's like a weird Betty and Archie and Veronica, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, what love triangle is it? Option A, the crush accidentally confesses to her, like, oh, like, I love you, thinking she's the heroine. It was this weird, weird, foggy area on the streets. And again, this was part of his, actually, I think it was like the beginning of his sabbatical. Or option B, the crush interrupts a wedding that was actually like just a play because he thought the bride was the crush.
God, this anime sounds stupid. Alright, so either what's that movie we saw where like the guy he like stopped the wedding and he drove off with the bride, but then like it was a really awkward 5-minute drive away from the chapel because they were both like, oh, neither of us planned this out, did we? And he was also shagging the bride's mom on the side.
The Graduate?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. That's what the second one, the scenario reminds me of.
Oh my god, what is the mom's name?
I think Miss Robinson?
I think you might be, because I remember Miss Robinson. I'm like, no, I gotta remember what the movie name is. And I remember it was The Graduate, but now I'm like,
And like the mom was like, why is the guy I was shagging running away with my daughter on her wedding day?
it's such a weird movie. Like, it's so weird that now it's like being used as prompts on TikTok for you to like watch their videos, but it's just a made up story. But I guess to be fair, they don't have to tell you true stories.
Story time. So I'm doing my nails to this story and it's really fucked up. You won't believe it. So I'll pick A because that sounds less cringe. You know, the foggy area where like Foggy's Peak where all the teenagers confess and make out.
I don't know. Again, it was a very weird scene. This is like closer towards the beginning of the season, which was the weird part. I don't know what it does, but because I don't think it's about knowing the characters more. I think it's just the writing somehow got better as the story went on.
You got feedback.
Something, right? Okay, your score was 5-3, Yakumo to Eri, which I kind of assumed because I think if you like were watching the show, you would pick Yakumo because I like him with Yakumo more too. But actually, you know, rewatching again, him with Tenma, kind of a cute ship because they're both incredibly stupid, but they like support each other and try to like help each other make the least stupider choice.
That's an OTP right there. The we share only one brain cells when it's at the laundromat.
This is like the funniest part of this series, I think. At least of season 1. Harima is actually telling the story of why he likes Tenma to his cousin, but he's not using her name. He's just saying the girl, right? What the story basically comes down to was like he saved Tenma from like a guy who was harassing her in an alley, but she passed out, so he brought her home to take care of her. But when she woke up, she was like, oh my god, you're a pervert, hit him, run away. And then Tenma, who heard this story, she like turns around because Harima didn't know she was there, and she's like, that girl sounds like a bitch, you shouldn't fall in love with her anymore. And he was like, oh my, I don't know, I just, the way it was happened, I just thought it was super funny.
That's a weird reason to fall in love with a girl.
It was because like, I think when she was dazed, she was being cute with him. When she got out of the daze, she was like confused on what was going on. I think she kissed him when she was in a daze.
Was she drunk?
No, I think she was just half awake.
Oh.
Because again, she passed out, right? I think because of like the adrenaline and fear. Which, by the way, I saw 2 videos of dudes. Like, one guy is driving recklessly and another guy's like hanging off the car. And the guy hanging off like drops and the car just rolls over them.
Why mention this here?
Because it's not bloody. They don't look like they're in pain, but you know they go be in pain. Why did I bring it up? I don't know.
Okay, so overall, how would you rate this series out of 10?
I would say for season 1, I would give it like a 5 or 6. Because you can watch the whole thing, but I don't think it's like anything great. But like I said, season 2 is much better. I would give that more like a 7 or 8. Because it's really funny in season 2. Especially like the first 2 episodes. I think, if I remember correctly, it's like a whole school fight. And they like totally dramatize it with like dark shading. I would like to find more rom-coms, Japanese animes. But I don't find animes to necessarily be the funniest things ever.
We have a weird sense of humor. I blame It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Well, I just think like culturally it's just different. So either you have to be like super out there. Like there's some series that are like kind of funny or they'll like have the funny moments, but it's not like constantly funny. Like if it's a comedy series, I don't necessarily find that Japanese series to be put in comedy. Like I don't like Pop Team Epic.
I love Pop Team Epic.
I know the second season started. I know it's super popular and they got those comic strips that are funny, but I just can't stand watching the show.
Okay, I'll watch it myself. Now I'll do a review, and it's going to be 30 minutes of me going, hey, you mad? Did I ever show you the HD version of that scene?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'll show it to you after this. It's funny.
I think we're done anyways.
So, until next time for season 2, I'm gonna date Yui of Doki Doki Literature Club.
Dude, of all the choices.